I'm in El Paso, Texas, just across the border from Juarez, Mexico, on a trip to see the conditions on our southern border with Mexico here. Um, and what an eye-opening experience it truly was. We spent a full day looking at many different aspects of the border condition. Interestingly, there's been a lot of congressional trips to the border over the last 6 months or so, over the last couple of years. I think this is the first time we were told, at least in this section in El Paso, that a congressional group has gone to talk with the farmers and ranchers whose lands border are adjacent to the border. And what an earful we got of people who actually live in the middle of all of this. As a farmer myself, it's hard to imagine having to live with the constant fear of people coming onto your property at all times of the day, but particularly at night. And not just, you don't know who it is. It could be very dangerous people, and many of them are. There's been a lot of terrible things that have happened. A lot of drugs that have been left behind are always found in fields, bags of money, of weapons, people who have been injured. Every day they walk out into their orchards and fields, and they never know what they're going to run into. And it's certainly changed their way of life. They have to be very careful walking around their property with the constant danger of violence. And so it was truly an eye-opening experience visiting with not only the farmers, but the farmers' wives as well, who are certainly dealing with the safety factor constantly in their minds. And one of the aspects of that is hard for us in Washington State to imagine living with is the presence of the drug cartels and now the human trafficking cartels, which are one and the same most of the time. But living with that dynamic, being subject to if you find a bag of money, you better not keep it, or they'll come and retribution is real. They know where everything is and where people are. In fact, when we were standing on the border with some of the Border Patrol, there were people on the other side of the river taking our pictures to document who's there and when at what time. A very, very unsettling feeling to have these drug cartels watching what's going on at the border. From there, we went to an unaccompanied children housing facility, which was run by a private company who was contracted by the federal government. Very much kind of like a school setting. It's a brand new facility. These kids are well cared for, taken care of. Every need they have is attended to. They even have classrooms available to them. They're there until they can either be reunited with family members in the United States or have a foster home found for them. So that was quite an interesting experience. We also went to the port of entry, talked to the Border Patrol agents there who are in charge of making sure that cars and trucks and pedestrians coming in and out of the country are the kind of people we want and are not bringing in illegal substances or again involved in human trafficking. Toured a large section of the wall, not only in Texas but also over in New Mexico. And I got to tell you, we saw some things that would amaze everyone. The sections of the wall that were literally you could crawl under in between sections. It was very porous parts of the fence between the two countries. The Border Patrol agents told us that this is a tool, a very important tool that helps protect the agents themselves. Certainly helps keep people from coming across illegally, slows them down. But the condition of that security system in many parts is it's really almost non-existent. And sitting right next to some of these porous sections of wall were the brand new bollard systems that had been being installed and were scheduled to be installed until midnight on January 20th, when all that work was stopped. So all these brand new sections of wall just sitting there and put on pause. Who knows if they'll ever be utilized. From there, we went to a processing center where we again saw the Border Patrol agents who are tasked with the responsibility of processing all of these people that are coming into the country from all ages, particularly seeing the unaccompanied children at this point, but also the adults and families. But there's several main themes I heard throughout the whole day. They need assistance. They need help. The people that we have tasked with protecting our border need the support of the federal government in many ways. One of those is through technology. They need to have the resources available to them so that they can do their jobs. And also, one of the policies that the Biden administration is talking about changing is scaring these patrol agents to death. And that's changing the what's called Title 42, which is allowing them to process quickly and turn around and send back to across the border 90% of the people that they encounter on the border. When that Title 42 is changed and the administration is making noise as if it will be, they will be literally inundated with people in between 2 and 3 days of that change being made. And then there's no plan. They have no idea what they'll be able to do in order to solve the problem of people crossing across into this country. And already they are overwhelmed. And so I came away with the determination to make sure that the administration understands that we have to not only maintain the policies that are currently in place, but go back to the policies that we had before that this administration changed and got us into the crisis that we're facing today. And that's the message that I'm going to bring back to Washington, D.C.